Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So, we had this Antifa Unite the Right rally over in Charlottesville, Virginia. And there's a guy that went by the name James Alex Fields Jr. I don't know why they always have to do the three-name thing. But anyway, he took his car and he rammed it into this is apparently what this says. James Alex Fields Jr. of Ohio was charged with second-degree murder, according to the New York Times, in Charlottesville, Virginia on Saturday, after the authorities said that he smashed a car into a line of cars in an episode that left a 32-year-old woman dead and injured at least 19 other people who were protesting a rally staged by white nationalists. So you had white supremacists that were there. You had Nazis that I guess were also part of this circus that was taking place in Charlottesville. Then you also, on the other side, had Black Lives Matter, and you had Antifa, which honestly is an organization that should be characterized as a domestic terrorist organization because they do nothing but spread violence. Okay? They are a violent liberal group. They beat up on people. I mean, we have record of that, video footage of that. But guys, I tell you, the media, no matter what Donald Trump says, it's not enough. Not enough. Because Trump came out and condemned all of this stuff. He released not only a statement and made a speech, but he also said we all must be united and condemn all that hate stands for. This is President Trump. There is no place for this kind of violence in America. Let's come together as one. Donald Trump said that on August the 12th. Okay? So anyway, I'm reading CNN, and I come across this interesting headline on here. And it was published the following day on August the 13th, and this is what it's titled. Trump, once again, fails to condemn white supremacists. Are we, apparently, Mr. Dan Merica is not paying attention to anything that the president's saying. Because the president, on August the 12th, one day before this article was published, condemned all that hate stands for, condemned all hatred, condemned all violence. Which, would that not include these white supremacists? Yes, it most definitely would. But, you know, we have the media making it out like he's pandering to these people, that he's pandering to white supremacists. And it's absolutely outrageous and ridiculous. It's just like I was telling a friend not too long ago. I said, you know, Donald Trump could take a Ku Klux Klansman on national TV, slit the guy's throat or behead the guy, and it still wouldn't be enough for the media. Still wouldn't be enough for him. They'd still say that he's a racist. They'd still say that he's pandering to the KKK. You know why? Because the media is delusional. No matter what President Trump does, no matter what he says, no matter how many times he says it, the media is out to portray him in the most negative way possible. Okay? Doesn't matter what he says, what he does. He can never do anything right. So not only does he have the media saying that he's pandering to white supremacists, but we have David Duke that was given a spotlight by the media as being this great big old Trump supporter. Because he was at this rally also. David Duke, for those of you that don't know, is this racist guy that has been apparently he's been a white supremacist for years. and he's a former member of the House of Representatives. But anyway, this is what David Duke said after Trump said that we must condemn all that hate stands for. David Duke got mad about that and said, I would recommend you take a look in the mirror and remember that it was white Americans who put you in the presidency, not radical leftists. It was white Americans. So all white Americans are conservative? I don't think so, David. So after decades of white Americans being targeted for discriminated and anti-white hatred, we must come together as a people and you attack us? We come together as a people and attack us? All that Trump said is that we must condemn all that hate stands for, and there is no place for this kind of violence in America. Let's come together as one. And David Duke took offense to that. So he has the white supremacists mad at him, saying that he was very, very harsh and is criticizing him because they are filled with hatred, and Trump just criticized their hatred. And then you have the mainstream media that's attacking Trump, saying that he didn't condemn them, or that he didn't, he was too easygoing on them. So it's absolutely ridiculous. He has both sides that are mad at him. It's absolutely insane. Because, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Trump is right. There was hatred on both sides of the fence. It's like, and that's the thing with this rally. I'm like looking at the groups that are there, and I'm thinking, my goodness, no wonder that there was violence that took place. You have like 4 or 5 hate groups, I think 4, that are all into one. You had hateful people on the counter-protesting side, and then you had hateful extremists that were leading the protests. So you have all these extremist organizations there, and we're wondering why there was violence. We're making it out like it's, this astonishing thing that happened. No wonder it took place. You have a bunch of wackos on both sides of the aisle that are coming against one another. And I gotta tell you, we're making a big deal about how this is, so horrible that a woman lost her life, which, don't get me wrong, I think it's absolutely awful that it's come down to this, that it's happening, that this is taking place. It's disgusting seeing, racists out in the streets that are, trying to, I guess, make people more racist. It's pathetic. But, I gotta say that it doesn't surprise me. It does not surprise me at all. But the thing is that while they are making a big deal about this incident that took place and about how violent these white supremacists are, what about the things that were going on, for example, like the riots in Ferguson, Missouri? The riots that have taken place in various areas across the country. The riots in Baltimore. Is that, are we not going to talk about that? Black Lives Matter is an extremist organization. White supremacists are extremists. And, Antifa is an extremist organization. And all of these organizations are known for violence. Alt-right, a lot of these alt-right people, they're extremists. So guys, I gotta tell you, it's absolutely pathetic to me that, they're basically, how can I say this? They're singling out the white supremacists and the violence that they have been engaged in. But what I'm telling you is that these other extremists have been engaged in violence as well. But they portray them differently. Why? Because they are on the left side. Why hasn't the media condemned the violence of Antifa? Why haven't they condemned the violence of the Ferguson events that unfolded? You know why? Because they agree with it. They agree with it. But Lord forbid somebody on the right engages in something like this, and boom, instantaneously they are right there to use them to make the whole right look bad. And this guy really isn't even a member of the right. He's just a nut job that's a racist and looks to hate black people any way that he possibly can. But anyway, I mean, there's videos from the Gateway Pundit. Christina Lila wrote an article, published it on the Gateway Pundit, and it has videos of Antifa waving Soviet flags, burning American flags, throwing fireworks, and spraying police officers with silly string, holding baseball bats with signs on it that read "Kill Nazis." Go back to Europe. They have videos of them burning American flags. I'm watching it right here. Setting American flags on fire, wearing face masks. So guys, I'm telling you, there's violence on all ends here. And you just look at these guys' eyes. I don't know, it's always like the eyes. You look at their eyes and they look like they are mentally insane. And I mean, you have Antifa burning American flag, cops pepper spraying the protesters, loud explosions, having to push back. I mean, we have a lot of video footage here, guys, that's available on the Gateway Pundit, and we need to get some of that stuff up on our Cowger Nation website too. But anyway, I mean, it's insane. You have police. I mean, they have a whole timeline here. Police holding the ground. Die Nazi scum. You have Soviet flag waving. Protesters chanting cops and Klan hand in hand as police arrest a protester. You have threats of violence. Various other things that were taking place by Antifa. People being punched, pushed around. In other events that Antifa has been a part of, there have been Trump, not alt-right Trump supporters or anything like that, but I'm talking about your irregular, average, everyday Trump supporters that have been bloodied. Face having blood pouring down. So I tell you, there are extremist liberals out there too. And Trump's statement not only included them, but also included these white supremacists. Now, here's the thing that gets me. Why can the liberal left not accept a generalization? And this is a very important point that I've got to make. Why can't the liberal left support a generalization? Why can't they hold the view, okay, yeah, violence on both sides is wrong? Why is that a bad thing? Why is that an unpresidential, inappropriate statement for the president to make? Why does the violence of only one little group have to be condemned? Why can't Trump condemn the violence of all the groups that were involved? You want me to tell you why? It's because the liberal left do not agree that violence should be condemned if it is against conservatives. They enjoy it. They're happy if a conservative dies. They're happy if a conservative is shot. That's why there were members of the liberal left that were saying that they were glad that Anthony Scalise, the representative that was shot by that liberal nut job that watched the Rachel Maddow show, they were glad that he was shot. They wished he was dead. They only want the violence condemned of those who call themselves members of the right.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Are you looking for tickets to the hottest concerts, big game, or theater show? Look no further than StarFanTickets.com. We have amazing tickets to almost everything. No event is ever sold out. Why wait? It's easy to get the tickets you want at the prices you'll love. Simply search for the event. Then click the Find Tickets button. That's StarFanTickets.com. Join the StarFan crew mailing list and stay up to date on all the hottest events in your area. That's StarFanTickets.com. We have your tickets. Hashtag, you going?
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China...
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108.
Like what you hear? We need your support. Consider becoming a patron of the Caiden Cowger program. As a member, you'll gain access to exclusive content only available to patrons of the show. Your subscription will help fund equipment, projects, promotion, and overall production of the broadcast. To join, go to www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. That's www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. Again, www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. And thanks.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.CaidenCowgerProgram.com/sponsor.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger.
No, but I'm going to tell you, personally,
somebody had to say it.
Liberals are out to ideologically transform this country into something unrecognizable. And I'm starting to see America, I think, get back to the way that it used to be to a certain degree, where we still have a lot of work to do. But I do think that we are slowly but steadily getting there. We're getting back to freedom of speech, which is a very good thing. We have, 4 more years to do so. Or 3.5 years to do so, whatever. But, the thing that is very important, though, is that I think that it's important for us to understand the way that the other side thinks, the way that the other side operates. And, the whole reason why I'm able to have a radio show and why I'm able to give you an in-depth analysis of, different things that are going on in politics is because I understand how the liberals think. But in order to understand how the liberal left thinks and how they operate, I have had to take the time to understand them. And I don't agree with them. I don't agree with them at all. I despise liberalism. I don't despise the people that hold liberal values, but I despise liberalism. Why? Because liberalism destroys a country. But what you have to do is that you have to understand and you have to be calm about it, which can be very difficult sometimes, but you have to be very calm with a lot of these people, or try to be, to get an understanding of what they believe, why they believe it. That way you know how to combat it. Because if I don't know how these people think and how they operate, I'm never going to change anyone's mind. I'm not going to change someone's mind by completely yelling at them and going ballistic. You've got to understand how they think, where they're coming from. That way you can combat their ideology. And that's what I think a lot of conservatives need to understand. You need to understand and you need to know how liberals think. Because when you do that, then you can begin combating their ideology and their incorrect opinions with facts. So, and that's one of the points of this show, to educate people on liberalism, to educate people on conservatism, and to get you to have a better understanding of how not only to combat liberalism, but why liberalism is wrong. Okay? But anyway, we have, another article here, because I've been going on this list, and you have angry white men out of the Chicago Tribune. Angry white men are fueling racial violence. And it's written by a black woman. So let's understand something here. Why are we to generalize all white men as being the contributing factor to racial violence? Because Darlene Glatton from the Chicago Tribune, I got to tell you that if I recall correctly, it was predominantly black people in Ferguson, Missouri, in Baltimore, that were rioting and destroying many businesses, setting many businesses on fire, some of which were owned by black business owners. But yeah, they just completely made wreckage of Baltimore, completely made wreckage of Ferguson, Missouri. So, back then I could have written an article, on CowgerNation.com. Hey, angry black men are fueling racial violence. But did I do that? No. You know why? Because that's racist in itself. To blame a race of people for violence. It's so stupid. So if it's wrong to say angry black men are fueling racial violence, it is wrong to say angry white men are fueling racial violence, because I got news for you. If there's any race that is to blame, which, I'm not going to say that a whole race should be generalized, because that's wrong and racist itself, but I'm going to say that it was the Black Lives Matter movement that has been known for the racism from the beginning, or that has been known from the violence from the beginning. Not only have they blocked freeways, which that could or could not be considered an act of harassment, but they have set buildings on fire, communities on fire. Business owners have lost everything. People have gotten hurt at Black Lives Matter rallies, at Black Lives Matter riots, excuse me. Let's call it what it is, riots. Okay? Setting police cars on fire. It's insane. Absolutely insane. So no, I'm not going to say that angry white men are fueling racial violence when just as many black men have been fueling racial violence on the other side. What I am going to say is that there is apparently racism that is developing in this country, and it is absolutely disgusting. It is literally crazy that we are still on this kick. But I tell you that a big factor of it are a lot of these, people out there that are fighting for issues that are absolutely worthless. And many of them are members of Black Lives Matter. I'll tell you one thing that I think is stupid. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. And I want all of you that are listening to me to take this just as if it was a black person that was telling it to you. Because my skin color shouldn't matter. Okay? Regardless of whatever my skin color is. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay? The thing that ticks me off about this whole Black Lives Matter thing is that one of the forefront things of this are the black people that are incarcerated, that are in prison. And they say that the prison rates are higher among African Americans. Okay? Well, here's the deal. Many African Americans are imprisoned for drug usage. So the solution to this, according to the liberal left, is that drug usage should be legalized to accommodate the African Americans that are in jail and the minorities that are in jail. Now, I'm sorry, but if we have to change the law to accommodate problems that various minorities are having, is there really equality? Why shouldn't black people, why shouldn't Latinos be held to the same standards as white people? What we really should be combating is the drug problem that exists in minorities, because minorities have been proven statistically to be more prone to getting involved in drugs and intoxicants and things like that. That needs to be combated. The problem is not black incarceration, black people in jail because they're, involved in drugs and things of that nature. The problem is that they are involved in drugs. And I tell you, the thing that gets me with this whole thing is that there are, issues out there that really particularly affect these various minority groups out there. And those real issues need to be combated because, I got news for you guys. If many of those black people and many of these minorities are not in jail for the drug usage, what's going to happen when they're out? They're going to kill themselves on the streets from heroin overdoses. So you've got to go to the real problem. You want less black people in jail? Start combating the drug problem that exists in their community. And I tell you, not only is it affecting the black community, but it's also affecting a lot of whites. It's affecting a lot of people in general. I live in a predominantly white area, and there are a lot of white people here that are involved in drugs. But it's time that we start looking at the real issues here rather than trying to make mountain out of molehills out of things that are not important.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say it.
You always want to look your best, but you don't always have time to deal with a necktie that won't cooperate. That's where we come in. Introducing the Never Tie, the only necktie that you never have to tie. Each Never Tie comes with a tie and 2 removable knots that you simply slide on and adjust for your comfort, giving you the perfect look every time. Choose from over 20 stylish designs at thenevertie.com. Enter promo code RADIO1 for discount.
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.caidencowgerprogram.com/sponsor.
Like what you hear? We need your support. Consider becoming a patron of the Caiden Cowger program. As a member, you'll gain access to exclusive content only available to patrons of the show. Your subscription will help fund equipment, projects, promotion, and overall production of the broadcast. To join, go to www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. That's www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. Again, www.patreon.com/Caiden Facebook.com/Caiden Cowger. And thanks.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network, where America comes to talk.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody
and I've
had
got
to say
something
it.
that I got to say. Martin Luther King had a vision of a colorblind society. That was Martin Luther King's vision. A colorblind society. I was watching CNN, and there was some Black Lives Matter advocate on there that was condemning what Martin Luther King said. We're never going to be colorblind. That's never going to happen. That's a nice dream, but that's never going to happen. And she began going on and on about how, about white people, ranting and raving about whites. And I'm thinking, wow, never going to happen, huh? Is this the Black Civil Rights Movement? Is that what it's turned into? No. No, it's not. This is not a Black Civil Rights Movement. Black Lives Matter is a racist organization that is almost nearly equivalent to the Black Panthers. Martin Luther King would be absolutely ashamed if he saw what these people were engaging in. They are almost a continuation of Malcolm X. They are not, I don't even think hardly any Black lives, I'll put it this way. I don't think hardly any Black civil rights advocates like Martin Luther King even exist anymore. Because the people that are involved in these various types of events, they are more on the side of Malcolm X than they are on the side of Martin Luther King. And the thing that just really worries me, and I'm going to be honest with you, the thing that really worries me is that Martin Luther King's message is just completely dissolving in the black community. Because they are getting so far away from it, it's not even funny. I mean, it's scary. And it is really, really unfortunate because, and I've said this on the show before, Martin Luther King had a vision of America that was equivalent to what Jesus Christ said. Because, Martin Luther King was like a pastor and everything. But anyway, Martin Luther King made a remark in his I Have a Dream speech. He said that we should not judge people by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. You know where he got that from? Not many people know this, and I always say it all the time, and you might get tired of it, but it's true. He got that from the Word of God. Jesus Christ said that we are not to judge people by appearance, but we are to judge righteously. Judge righteous judgment. So, what is appearance? Color of your skin. What's righteous judgment? Content of your character. So all that King was doing was that he was promoting Christian values. But see, because the Black Lives Matter movement is so far away from Christian values, they're so far away from Christianity. That's the reason why they are so violent. And guys, until we get some civility back like Martin Luther King had, this stuff is not going to end. It is not going to end. So yes, there is hatred on both sides. Donald Trump is absolutely right. But I tell you, I'm sick and tired of the racism, and I'm sick and tired of these, people professing to be civil rights advocates when they hold zero views that Martin Luther King had. And not only do they not hold those views that King had, but they scoff at him. I mean, they should view skin color as being equivalent to eye color. They should view skin color as being equivalent to hair color. It's meaningless. So what? You're black, you're white, you're Latino. Big whoop-de-doo. I lay out in the sun to get a tan. It's your skin. It's the external covering of your body. So why in the world is it such a big deal that, you're black, you're white, you're this, you're that? I've never understood racism, and I never will. I think it's ridiculous. Because, even though you have white people, you have different shades of white people. I think it's dumb. I don't get it. I don't understand, why people feel the way that they do. Other than somebody looks different than them and it makes them uncomfortable. I don't get it. I don't understand. But all that I know is that there are various groups of people out there that do these little generalizations of everybody. And I've seen racism from black people and I've seen racism from white. I mean, I've told you the story about how we went to, Values Voters Summit. We had to get gas. We had to stop in a black neighborhood. And my father got out of the car to fill up the gas tank, and, we had, this scumbag with his hands, with his pants drooping down, looked like they were around his ankles, started, calling him cracker and everything else. So, I mean, it's insane. Dad was in line waiting like everybody else. This guy comes by. Oh, you gonna let this white guy? You gonna let this white guy go for me? He better than me? Huh? I was in a gas station. So, I mean, I've seen it on both sides. Started cussing, doing everything else. Black store owner told him to wait his turn and get out of the store. So, I mean, guys, I tell you, there are racist idiots out there. Regardless of skin color, you are going to have people that hate the other side because of their skin. But I'm going to tell you that there's a large percentage, and I'm going to tell you this is a problem. And if there are any, young African Americans that are listening to me, you need to hear me. Because you don't need to continue this. And you really need to pay attention and hear me good. Because I mean this. I had a friend that believed that he was going to be a failure his whole life. And you know what he's doing now? He's living the life of a failure. He's involved in drugs. He's involved in stuff that he shouldn't be. I tried to help him as much as I could, but it didn't work. He just wouldn't listen. But I want you to hear me. That you are never going to be able to advance if you believe that people owe you something. If you believe that other people are privileged and you are disprivileged. You have a failure mentality and you are always going to be a failure until you get out of that mentality. So start looking at yourself as a success. Start looking at yourself as having the ability to be anything that you want. Because you develop that type of mentality, you will be a success. You will be a success. You've got to be driven. You've got to be dedicated. You've got to do the right things. And if you fall down, you get back up. You've got to develop that type of mentality. Don't believe in white privilege. Because if white privilege exists, that means that being black is a disprivilege. Don't believe the garbage that the media tells you. Believe that you can be something. Believe that you are a success. You can be successful and strive to accomplish your goals. And don't let these nut jobs that are telling you that black people, never amount to anything because of the whites in the country. Ignore them because they don't know what they're talking about. You've got to go in a different direction than them. Because I'm telling you, I'm so fed up with this racist garbage. If we would develop that type of mentality, and because I've got to tell you, I've talked with a lot of, black people that honestly believe that they can't advance in this country because this is a white nation, still hold that view. And I tell you, that's the thing that holds them down the most. Because I don't care if you have a drive to succeed, it doesn't matter who stands in your way. You're going to break through. And that's what you have to do. You have to break through. And if there are obstacles in your path, you just drive right through them. You've got to go through. So, that's just a little bit of advice that I can give you. That's just stuff that I've seen. I'm ready to move beyond this racist garbage, and it's time that we do. It's a demonic evil that exists in the world.
Caiden Cowger. Keeping America straight.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
You always want to look your best, but you don't always have time to deal with a necktie that won't cooperate. That's where we come in. Introducing the Never Tie, the only necktie that you never have to tie. Each Never Tie comes with a tie and 2 removable knots that you simply slide on and adjust for your comfort, giving you the perfect look every time. Choose from over 20 stylish designs at thenevertie.com. Enter promo code RADIO1 for discount.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China...
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.CaidenCowgerProgram.com/sponsor.
Like what you hear? We need your support. Consider becoming a patron of the Caiden Cowger program. As a member, you'll gain access to exclusive content only available to patrons of the show. Your subscription will help fund equipment, projects, promotion, and overall production of the broadcast. To join, go to www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. That's www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. Again, www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. And thanks.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network, where America comes to talk.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say it.
So I have an article here for you. This is interesting. It's from Reuters. But the UK Parliament's Big Ben, that big clock that's over in London, is apparently going to fall silent for 4 years. So for 4 years, it's not going to ring. This is out of Reuters. The Big Ben bell in the British Parliament's famous clock tower will cease its regular bongs, bong, 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 at noon, August 21st, falling silent for most of the next 4 years while renovation works are carried out. And that's what the House of Commons said on Monday. So it's taken them 4 years to get this thing done. The hammers, which have struck the 13.7-ton bell every hour for most of the last 150 years, will be locked and disconnected from the clock, although the bongs will still sound for important events such as New Year's Eve and celebrations. So it's not going to be silent for 4 years totally then. The essential program of works will safeguard the clock on a long-term basis, as well as protecting and preserving its home, the Elizabeth Tower, said Steve Jaggs, keeper of the Great Clock. So anyway, so they are going to be apparently working on the clock for the next 4 years. So if you're going to London, you're not going to hear it. Anyway, Donald Trump released a campaign ad also that's criticizing Democrats and calls the Democrats and the media his enemies. Go ahead and listen to this. This is his campaign ad that he just released.
Democrats obstructing, the media attacking our president, career politicians standing in the way of success. But President Trump's plan is working. 1 million jobs created. More Americans working than ever before. Unemployment lowest since 2001. The stock market, all-time record highs. The strongest military in decades. The president's enemies don't want him to succeed. But Americans are saying, let President Trump do his job.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
That's a good ad. And it's true. Let President Trump do his job. But Republicans are combating him. Democrats are combating him. The media is combating him. Just a massive swamp, like he's been saying. And every single thing that he does, he's criticized for. So, Trump is absolutely right. They need to just let him do his job. They need to let him serve the American people as he was elected to do. And I got to tell you, I have never seen a man that has been attacked this much by the media for working for free. Yeah, did you know that? Donald Trump doesn't take a paycheck. He doesn't take a paycheck. He does all this stuff entirely, completely for free. The paycheck that he receives, because it's mandatory for him to receive a paycheck, he takes it and he donates it to some branch of the government that he feels needs it. So he doesn't accept money. He works entirely for free. Now, isn't that something? That's President Trump. The only president that I know of that has never accepted payment for working for the American people. He genuinely wants to make this country better. He genuinely wants to help. But every single time that he tries, every single attempt that he makes, he's criticized for. He's attacked by the media for. It's absolutely disgusting. But that just shows you what the media is like. They don't care if he's working for free. They don't care if he's trying to actually benefit the country. They don't care if he loves America. All that they care about is advancing liberalism and promoting the left's agenda. That's all that it is, because they are the Democratic propaganda wing. And that's all that they are. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you for listening to us. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God save this nation.